Ibis's all-round 29er trail bike. Theme of saving weight on the whole bike. Seat tube has been dramatically steepened, dripped with XTR. Hi, I'm Chips from Singletrack magazine, and this is the brand new Ibis Ripley. This is the version 4, the third full suspension version. The first one that came out in 2001 was a softtail, for those with long memories, and it's Ibis's all-round 29er trail bike. It's 130mm travel at the front, 120 at the back, which is unchanged from the previous version. But Ibis has done a ton of work into making this as pure a trail bike as possible. Kind of inspired by the longer travel Ripmo, which is like a 160 29er. This is it's shorter in the seat tube. This is a size large, and it's only actually a 16.5-inch seat tube, which allows you to run massively long droppers. Also inspired by the Ripmo, Ibis has used bushings on the lower pivots, which don't really move much. They move sort of 8 degrees, and kept bearings on the upper pivots. This has helped save weight, and there's a whole theme of saving weight on the whole bike. The whole bike without shock, size medium, is £5, and Ibis reckons that many of their competitors' frames are nearer 6.5. That's without the shock. There's obviously room for a bottle cage. We have internal routing. In terms of geometry, again, that's been inspired by modern, more enduro bikes. The seat tube has been dramatically steepened. I've got my cheat sheet here. This is 76 degrees seat tube, and the head tube angle is 66.5, which is a degree off the previous version, the Mark III. And yet Ibis has managed to shorten the chainstays. The chainstays are 435. The reach is massively long now. They've added 45mm reach compared to the previous version, which is longer than the Ripmo. So really big reach here. The large, I'm cheating here, the large reach on the large is 475mm. But thanks to the shorter seat tube, like, you could run a size large with a 170mm dropper post and still have enough room. So the idea is that you will size based on what kind of reach you want. If you want a slightly shorter, more upright bike, then get a medium. If you want a longer bike, get a large. There's tons and tons of room. This is like a 185 dropper or something. So tons and tons of changes here. The price remains the same. Looking at the suspension more closely, the previous Ripley had little eccentrics in the frame, but with this version it's gone to the more standard links that they have on the rest of the bikes, the HD4 and the Ripmo, which just allows the bike to be sort of shortened and brought in. It also allows a longer dropper post, because the eccentrics were starting to encroach on the room that the longer dropper posts needed. So the eccentrics have gone, but these new links are in place, and there's bearings on the top ones that move a lot, and then bushings on the lower ones that don't move as much. Everything else is pretty standard for a modern trail bike. Boost 148 rear spacing. This bike is has been dripped with XTR, but there are all sorts of other builds available from reasonably affordable up to stupid. You can see this amazing colour, which is a sort of grey blue, light blue. It's called blue steel, and the other colour available is Brap black. I think they're AAA in the Brap. So that's the Ibis Ripley, new for 2019. It'll be out in shops about the end of April. This has been Chips from Singletrack magazine. reporting from Santa Cruz.